and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a bit of a repot chat, trying something a little bit scary with some of my plants, something I've never done before really at this level, and I am quite nervous to do, so I figured I'd bring y'all along with me at the process to hopefully make it a little bit easier on me and we can kind of go through my nerves together. I'm also going to be answering some of your questions from Instagram while I do so, and yeah. Before I do though, if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. Right, let's get into this terrifying repot. I'm gonna set us up one sec. What I was saying about this scaring me, it's something that I would have never done a year ago. Maybe even 6 months ago, I would have never fathomed this being an option. But for some reason, inside of me is like, yes, this is absolutely an option. You should totally do this. Essentially, I'm going to be potting plants with similar care needs within the same genus together in one pot. And I'm nervous about it, and the big one that is truly scaring me is my Scindapsus collection, pretty much. Almost all of my uncommon Scindapsus are itty bitty small things that I could definitely manage to pot in one thing altogether, cause why not? Why not? I also have a couple slightly bigger ones here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 types of Scindapsus that I'm going to be putting in a singular pot. I'm a little bit terrified. But I think it'll be okay because all of the ones in soil are in the same exact soil, Monstera and Philodendron soil from Soil Ninja. And then I've got a couple in semi-hydro that I might just take out of semi-hydro because I don't feel like they need to be in semi-hydro. I don't think they're benefiting at all by being within semi-hydro. So we're just gonna, we're gonna try. We're gonna give it a go and see how this works, whether or not I actually like it. And if I don't like it, I can always take them apart again. I think that's what's the driving factor here is if I don't like it, I can stop. I can stop potting them up. I can change them after if they're just not having it. I don't need to go into this and have it be like the end of something, which my brain normally says like, yes, this is the end all be all. This is the only option. Once you've done this, you can't go back. Which I understand is not how some people think, and I feel like if you do think like this, I'm sorry, because I know how much it's difficult in our brains to comprehend that, like, it's okay, we can undo. So that's the first one I want to do. I also want to pot up my 3 types of cast iron plant together in one. I've got a regular plain green one, a very low variegated stripy one, and then the Milky Way. So those 3, and then I also, if I have time at the end of this video, who knows how long I'm gonna answer questions for, but I've got my 2 dragon scales that I could very easily pot into a single pot because do I need 2 of them? No. So I think I'm gonna start with these Scindapsus because it is the most frightening for me, and I'm just gonna dive in the deep end. So let's get unpotting all of them. I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay. Let's get unpotting them and answering some questions. The first one I've seen is repotting in colder months, yes or no? Well, based off of this video, the answer is yes, it doesn't matter. So I think it would matter with outdoor plants because they are, like, if they're experiencing the cold, it would probably be an issue. But with indoor plants in a climate that is controlled like our homes, it doesn't really matter. And as long as you can like keep an eye on them, it should be absolutely fine. Okay, well, I mean, it's quite easy to unpot these because they have like really chunky roots and I don't need to take all of the soil off because I'm going to be putting them back in the soil anyways. So yeah, repotting in colder months, I think it's absolutely fine. They probably might take a little bit longer to bounce back than in the warmer months because repotting them can be a stress on the plant and that's totally normal. You could try and avoid it, but if it's between your plant suffering with like issues and repotting in the winter, repot in the winter. It'll be 1,000 times worth it because you want your plant to be healthy and safe. And if you need to repot it, just repot it. I think also we do tend to repot more in the warmer months just because our plants are growing more. And so it's more likely for us to notice that things have outgrown their pots in the summer, so it makes sense that we do it more often in the warmer months, but that doesn't mean we cannot do it in the colder months. I don't think it really matters that much. These smaller ones are quite easy to unpot. I did lose a bit of a root there, unfortunately, but that's fine. I am expecting some root loss, a little bit of root pruning. Doesn't really hurt. This one I might struggle with. Look at the roots on that. And I do not want to cut them off, I don't think. And I don't want to cut the pots because these aeroid tower pots are nice pots and kind of expensive. So I don't really want to lose them. Someone asked if I've decided on a morning routine. So I did a reel on this on my vlog channel about how I'm kind of struggling with my morning routines. I'll link it, I guess. Yeah, I'll link it down below. Basically, I'm still figuring out my morning routine, and I'm actually vlogging this week for my vlog channel. So this will be my first like weekly multi-day vlog on there, which is very exciting. I'll link the new channel down below. And in the clickable eye, it's that side, I believe. No, it's that side. Yeah, I'm still working on it and still trying to figure it out because I'm trying to avoid screens in the morning as best as possible, or like mindlessly scrolling on TikTok, which I'm prone to, so I'm trying to figure something else out. I highly recommend you go watch my new channel if you want to know more like sort of life stuff about what I'm getting up to and like my health journey and books, because I'm very, very into books at the minute and reading. I've been reading pretty much non-stop this year and I love it. I'm having so much fun, and yeah, it's a really fun new hobby. Not new, but like hobby that I've gotten like really into in the past couple months. So go check that out. And the answer is no, I've not figured out my morning routine yet, but I'm working on it. We will get there. Someone asked if we're gonna get a wedding vlog. I haven't really thought about vlogging on the day of my wedding. I don't think I will, just because I'm gonna be busy getting married. But on like things leading up to the wedding, again, those will probably end up being on the vlog channel, if anywhere. But I don't know, like I'm kind of in two minds about whether or not I do want to share a bunch about the wedding, because like, I don't know, I feel like there's not much in my life that I care to keep private. I am almost an open book all the time. And so, I don't know, it kind of feels like one of these things that's like slightly more sacred to me than a lot of the rest of my life, because I don't really mind sharing most things, but with the wedding, it just feels like something that, I mean, I'm definitely gonna share the wedding video like, because we've got a videographer on here, probably, because I know lots of y'all will want to watch it. But I really don't know about, like, sharing too much of the wedding stuff. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out about how much I do want to share with the internet, which is an odd thing, and I think most people don't really need to deal with that. But apparently that's something that I am having to think about in the whole wedding planning process. Oh. Ooh, what do you think about plant subscriptions? So, I think if you're just starting out on your plant parent journey, they can be really, really useful to get plants and, like, try new things. And I don't think it's necessarily the smartest, not the smartest decision, but, like, I think it'd be better, in my opinion, to figure out what space you have in your home and what, like, care you can give the plants before just getting a bunch randomly. I am a person who highly believes in researching before buying plants and making sure that they can live well in your home. I don't always do that. I don't always follow my own advice, but I try to where I can. And plant subscriptions, you don't really get a choice, I don't believe, in most of them about what plants you're getting. And I suppose most of them are fairly easy care plants that could tolerate most things, but I definitely wouldn't go for, like, a rare plant subscription box. That's just, like, asking for trouble. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm a fan of plant subscription boxes. I don't think they're definitely not for me. I tried one once, and it's fine. They're okay. They're not, like, my favorite thing in the world, but they definitely can be useful for getting, like, plants early on in your journey if you're not sure what you're doing exactly. Look at these roots. They are crazy. Very, very happy. I was able to get most of them out without breakage, but I did break a couple of them there, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. This one, I have to take off the lazy pole. In addition to taking off the soil. The soil is always the easy part. It's moss that's hard to get off plant roots. But this is where I'm glad I did use a lazy pole here. I really don't use lazy poles anymore because I was gonna say because I'm too lazy, but that doesn't really make sense. I don't think they're right for me in the grand scheme of things. I think I much prefer just to do a proper D-shaped moss pole. I think. This one's, like, not even rooted into the pole. Okay. Yeah, you're... Also, I mean, it's because the pole's so incredibly dry. I found it really hard to water lazy poles, and that's why I don't think I used them, really. So, yeah. Away. I think this will also just generally make a much fuller plant, which I am absolutely here for, because I like my plants to be full. If you could pick one plant chore that would magically be done by itself forever, what would it be? One, I'm curious to hear y'all's answers on this, whether or not we have the same plant chore. So put yours down below in the comments before I tell you mine. But I mean, I think I do know mine. Dusting. I would love to never have to dust my plants ever again, because that would be brilliant. I don't like dusting. I don't really do it that often, which is, I know, a me problem. But yeah, I'm not into it. I should probably get better at it, but alas, I don't want to. I would like to not do it ever again. I feel like that's probably not a surprise to any of you. So I think with this one, I really hated having this one on the moss pole. I don't think I like Syndapsis on moss poles. It's just not for me. I don't think it is, I don't think it works for me. And I think my thought behind this was that I could like try and get it to grow bigger on a moss pole, but I obviously didn't care enough about the moss pole to actually care for the moss pole, which meant that it just wasn't. And it's like, at that point, is it even worth having it on the moss pole? No. But now, getting it off the moss pole, because I know it has roots in here, it's going to be a little bit of a pain. It's okay. I have time. I am not in a rush. Oh, I want different scissors though. Actually, these are fine. Sorry, I find doing moss pole stuff and talking really hard to do at the same time, so I've just been a bit quiet there for a minute. What other plant chores would I be down to like disappear completely? I really like watering my plants. I have no problem doing that. I find it like quite relaxing to water my plants. So I don't really feel like I need that one to go away. Pest treating, maybe, because it can get quite tedious, especially if you've got a lot of pests. I'm hoping that in 2024, this year, that I can get to a point where I'm not needing to pest treat all that much, if at all. That would be brilliant if that were the case. Once I finish doing all my sulfur treatments, which I do need to repeat, I still haven't done that yet. I think I will be in a place without pests as far as I can tell. And then I am hoping to get back into predatory mite, and this time I'm going to not go hard with it, but like, I don't think last year that I was using enough predatory mites to get my goals accomplished for the size of my collection. So if I'm reducing my collection and starting off on a very clean slate, I feel like I will have a better chance. That being said, pests do come in through the windows in your home, and so like, if I have my windows open in the summer, which I do because it's nice, I will probably end up having some pests just because that's how it works. But if I'm being really careful with the plants I'm bringing in and treating them before they get joined into my collection and that kind of thing, I feel like I can be in a better spot with things and hopefully not need to pest treat as much or at all. But I don't know, like it's also not that big of a deal, the pests and like pest treating. I don't think that's a chore that I would necessarily need to like get rid of completely from my routine. I think the answer has to be dusting. I dislike it and I don't want to do it ever, so I think it has to be that. What's a planty opinion that you've done a 180 on? Ooh. Putting different plants in the same pot. I don't know. I feel like my tastes haven't changed that much. Maybe cacti and succulents, but that was like I didn't like them before purely because I didn't know how to take care of them. And so once I've learned how to take care of cacti and succulents, I have really, really loved them. That's a big change that I've made. So, look how pretty this is. Some chunky roots. I might separate this into like 3 sections because it's got roots down here, it's got roots in the middle, and it's got roots at the top. So I might separate that out before potting it up. I don't feel like my opinions have changed that massively. I don't feel anymore like I need to have all the plants. That's kind of a change, but I wouldn't say I've done a 180 because I don't think I ever felt like I needed to have all the plants in my collection because I knew there was always going to be some that weren't for me, and that was absolutely okay. I think this is another one I'd love to hear from y'all about your experiences and what you've found that you've changed on in your time. I've also just, I don't know, I've generally been a lazy plant parent for most of my plant parenthood. So I wouldn't say that like the level of care I give is much different. I mean, it probably is based off of the number of plants I have, but yeah. Downsizing, working on it right now as we speak. Okay. And then one more to unpot. Oh, and I also have one in a prop box that I do want to take out. But it is like heavily rooted in there, so it might take a minute. This one I am also tempted to like chop and prop some of these because it's just got like really long runners, but I can do that once it's unpotted and I can see what's up with it. I really don't feel like Synapses need to be in semi-hydro at all. It's like I can use that pot for something else. Just pulling off any bits of rot in here, which there are a couple bits, not loads, which is really good. I'm hoping the transition from semi-hydro to soil goes okay though, to be honest, because I don't think I've ever transitioned backwards like this. I've only kind of ever gone forwards. So I'll be interested to see how these plants fare in this transition because I'm not used to going this direction with them. So that one's okay. I might chop it. I might just take some big cuttings of these and I can prop them in moss. There. And I can prop these in moss later just because I don't want like one long thing. I like a couple, fine, but one long one is weird. So should I put them all in fresh soil? Give them like the best possible conditions to try this? I think because it's my first time doing something like this, the answer is probably yes. Also, I need to figure out what size pot they actually fit in. I was thinking potentially a trough pot. If I can reach it. I might have to go around. Sorry, while I was up, the doorbell rang, so I had to go get that. But, trough pot, this one, normally for semi-hydro, but I don't need to use it for semi-hydro. I'd have my mame currently in a pot like this, but I think I would need quite a large pot, like surface area wise, to fit all of these plants in. I don't have like a big but shallow pot because I don't want it to be too deep, I don't think, because these roots are not meant, or are not used to being in something super deep. So I think something like this is probably my best shout. We're gonna find out. We're gonna give it a go. And I'm a bit nervous about this part. I feel like unpotting them's easy. Potting them up is scary. So I'm using Monstera and Philodendron soil from Soil Ninja here. I'm also an affiliate with them, if you didn't know already. If you've not tried them before and you live in the UK or EU, you can use my affiliate code for a little bit of a discount, which I'll put down below in the description. But yeah, give it a go if you haven't already. I highly recommend it. This is my favorite soil of all time. It's just perfect for so many different types of plants. So, highly recommend. And I'm just going to put them in. I think I have a lot of roots to deal with here. Oh yeah, I was going to separate this one. The Silver Lady. And I think I want to put the long ones kind of interspersed throughout, so that it's not just a bunch of long ones on a single side. Because I think that makes sense. But I will put all the Silver Ladies close to each other. Sorry, I'm just concentrating a little bit because I don't want to mess this up. There's a lot of roots. And in theory I could root prune them, but I really do not want to traumatize these plants if I can help it. Does that even look good? I can't tell. Oh, this is making me so nervous. It's fine. This is gonna be absolutely fine. Jumping off the deep end. Jumping straight off the deep end. Again, sorry for my silence here. I think I just need to do this with my own thoughts for a moment because it makes me so nervous. can always undo it. I can always undo it. It'll be fine. These plants are all the same plant. They'll be perfectly fine. I didn't take the one out of the prop box. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that right now. This trough is full right now, so I don't think I have the space for any more. I might need to get a bigger trough at some point, but I don't know. The trough pots are really hard to come by, especially big ones. The only big ones I've found are Lechuzapon ones, and I don't know if those would work very well with soil. I know that they claim to, but I don't use self-watering pots for anything in soil with the self-watering capabilities. So like obviously this one is technically a self-watering pot, but I don't use it as one. I suppose I could do the same with the Lechuza pot. I don't know. We will see, we will see if I even like this, if I undo it. If I'm back here in a month's time and I'm like, this was a terrible idea, sorry. This is kind of an experiment for me, and I'm trying out new things and pushing my boundaries a little bit for good reason, to minimize my plant collection and downsize a little bit. Okay. So I definitely think I will need to water this one, but I think that looks pretty good. Just a mixed pot of Scindapsus. I'm not mad at it. Not that I thought I would be mad at it per se, but just so they're all the same length. I think that looks pretty good, considering. I mean, things are a bit wonky, but that's okay. That is okay. I'm not mad at it. I think I've got a lot of very like silver stuff. I think if I was planning it better, I could have put the like very, very silver bits of like the silver hero or the platinum in a bit that's not close to other really silver bits, but I didn't do that. It's fine. I'm just gonna have to keep telling myself that because I don't know if it is. Mentally, I do not know if it is. Put that there. I also need to decide where I'm going to put that long term, but I think I can put it maybe where my string of hearts is on top of my IKEA cabinet, because then I can keep an eye on it really, really well for at least the beginning bit of this journey trial thing. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, let's do a really easy one next, because I need to still my beating heart from that, like, stress. And I can answer another nice, low planty question. Ooh, if I could travel anywhere to see plants in their natural habitat, where would I go? Oh, I think it would have to be Indonesia. Just like purely based off of all of the plants that I'm seeing in like the Indonesian plant sellers Facebooks and like websites and Instagrams and stuff. they have some gorgeous plants, and especially like super dark, beautiful anthuriums. That would be an amazing opportunity. And maybe one that I'll get to do one day. But today is not that day. And I definitely can't really afford to go to Indonesia. So probably won't be doing that. I'll just continue importing them from them instead. I am just gonna root prune these a little bit because it's, one, gonna make my life easier, and two, they're these like really spindly roots that I don't think I need. But this plant is very, very well rooted. I think the dragon scale is one of my favorite alocasias. It's just been so easy for me, and yeah, it's just a really easy one. So why not be one of my favorites? And they've grown so big, and I feel like it's one of the ones that has least suffered from the one in, one out policy. Or like the classic alocasia cycling that they do. I feel like this one is one of those that just doesn't do that as much as some others do, in my experience. So that's one. And then this one, I also really want to take out of this pot, because this is one of those pots that I can't take the plant out to like look at the water level, and I know it has an indicator on there, but I can't, like, if I put too much water in, I can't do anything about it. It's just in there, really, without trying to pour it out and probably pour out half the plant. So I could also probably pot this one a little bit deeper, because it's got a bunch of stem here that I could be rid of. And I think this will end up being a lot of water coming out of here. Oh my god. These roots are insane. I love how it's literally holding the shape, but there's a little platform at the bottom, if you can't tell. And I'm just cutting these roots off, because those have just been sitting in water. They do smell a bit janky. But oh my god. That was quite funny. Yeah, that's why I don't like that pot, because I can't like have a look at the roots ever. And I didn't know how overgrown it was. I could also travel to like South America or like Central America to look at plants, because they have like gorgeous huge monsteras. Basically anywhere really tropical. And I think I'm a bit bummed that when I went to Costa Rica in 2019, I wasn't like into houseplants at that time, because I am sure there were amazing houseplants around me while I was there, and I had no idea. Because I just wasn't in the hobby at that time. Oh my god, look at this chunky corm. Look at that. That is chunky. Okay, let's save that for sure. Oh my goodness. I think a question someone's asked me before is, do corms grow in semi-hydro? And the answer is yes, they still grow. I don't notice them as much in semi-hydro as I do in soil, but they do still grow, yes. This is so chunky, another one. Okay, so I think, I hope this pot is big enough. So I have one of the like classic Elho inserts. I don't have enough room on my table right now. There we go. I have space. I am going to be putting new semi-hydro in just because this stuff is pretty much infinitely reusable when you sanitize it, which I definitely can do. So I'm going to do that with it. Like, it's not going to waste, whereas this soil I'm probably going to throw out. I'm really, really bad about that. I think part of it is because I am lucky enough that I do get given soil for free by Soil Ninja being an affiliate, so I don't have to like worry about it. If I need more, I don't need to buy it, I can just get more. So I am lucky in that regard. So I think if I can do it, why not? Just gonna put a bit of a layer on the bottom. I mean, I have a feeling, knowing both of these plants and how rooted they are, these roots are just gonna like immediately go through the bottom. Maybe I should root prune even more. That does scare me a little bit though. Maybe I'll just go at it. just like half the roots. No, honestly, I'm not that worried about it. I think it should be absolutely fine. And especially these like little ditty roots. It'll grow more of those in an instant. I just need to make sure that I don't leave any that I have chopped off in here, because those will just rot and cause issues. And I know doing this is probably going to shock the plant a little bit. It's fine. It is absolutely fine. Okay, that's a bit better. Someone said, please give me some recommendations on the best grow lights. So that's a really great question, because grow lights can be incredibly helpful for us, especially this time of year when it is just dark and dismal out. I have several brands of grow lights that I do really like, and some of them I am affiliated with, just a warning. So if you do use my link, then I do get a little bit of extra in there. But the main ones that I use that I like the best are the Mother Grow lights. They, in my opinion, look the nicest in my home. You can kind of see one at the very edge over there. I think they look the best. I think they put out really nice light. I think they're sleek. They don't look like grow lights like some can. So I feel like it's one of the really good ones, and they are a little bit more expensive. So if you do have the budget for grow lights, I would immediately say Mother Grow lights if you have the budget for it, 1000%. And they are international as well. So if you're interested in trying them from wherever you are, they are great. I really like the Soltech one I have as well. I have the Soltech Grove light in my Acrobar. That one is very similar in vibes to the Mother Grow light, the bar one. I don't have any of the like bulb lights from them or the pendant lights because I just don't have space for that in my home, but I have heard really good things about them. So they're another one that I would definitely buy from again. Again, they're a little bit more on the expensive side, but they're less than the Mother Grow lights as far as I'm aware. If you're in the UK and you're looking for grow lights, I highly recommend Grow Gang bulbs. I don't remember if this one's not a Grow Gang one, but I have one in my bedroom and one in the office going, and those are really good. They're really energy efficient, and they put out quite a lot of light, which is great. I could probably make a video, a full video on all of the grow lights I have in my collection and what I think about them all. Maybe I should do that. But those are kind of the main ones that I would highly recommend to people that are looking for grow lights. And all of those are also like independent businesses, which I really like. And I think like local businesses, not necessarily local, but small independent businesses. I think Mother is Netherlands based or Germany based. Grow Gang is UK based and Soltech is US based. And so they're local small businesses, which I like to support if I possibly can. So yeah, I highly recommend those. I do also have Soltech grow light and an Arcadia Jungle Dawn grow light, which I do like, but I wouldn't recommend them as highly as I would the others. So those are my main recommendations. I can link all of those down below as well, and I'm pretty sure I have discount codes with all of them. So and I'm not just saying that because I'm affiliated with them. I generally do really like their grow lights. So yeah. Okay, that was way easier. I love semi-hydro. It's just, in general, so much easier to work with than soil when it comes to like repotting and stuff. Because like now I'm done with this plant. But I will need to find a new pot for it because I have upsized. I think I can probably take one of my whatchamacallits, one of the pots from my cast iron plants out and use that. Yeah, very happy and healthy, beautiful plant. And I've been meaning to like pot these two together for ages. I've just not done it, so I'm glad I've had this opportunity to do so now. Cool beans. I think I'm gonna tidy this really quick just so I can have a little bit more mental space, because when things are this cluttered my brain goes oh. So give me one moment and I'm gonna clear this off and we can pot these last set of plants. Okie doke, time for these biggins to become one. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely time for these ones. Not that I don't like having them separately, because I do like having them throughout my house, but I don't feel like I need them throughout my house in the same way. So I also don't know if I'm going to need to pot them in a bigger pot or not. We will figure that out. Oh, okay. That's so weird. That's so weird. Okay, so I have this pot. This is the root system for this one. It was there, and there's just like soil at the bottom still, but the roots didn't grow down. Okay, that is so strange. I have never seen anything like that before, but okay. That's so weird. Oh, ow, hello. Hey, Vivi. Hi. You want to say hello? No. Can you get down? No, you're gonna purr here. You can sit on my lap. Oh yeah, that's good. Sit behind me. Sit behind me. Oh, silly girl. Leave it, baby. Leave it, baby. Leave it. It's 45 minutes until she gets fed. This is what my life is like. Someone asked how my climbing is going. And the answer to that question is, it's currently not. I haven't climbed, oh gosh, in a really, really, really long time, actually. I don't know when, I couldn't tell you when the last time I climbed was. Okay, that looks more normal. These roots go all the way down to the bottom. That was so weird. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I climbed. And it's because my climbing buddy, who we used to go literally every single week, she like developed a bit of a hip issue. Well, didn't develop, she's had, but it started giving her quite a lot of pain. And so, oh, let's not eat these roots. I know this plant is cat safe, but I still don't want you to eat it. But yeah, so their hip pain got a lot worse, and we just ended up stopping, which is a little bit unfortunate because I do really miss it and I do want to get back into it, and I think she does as well, so I feel like we definitely will, but we are on a bit of a climbing hiatus at the minute while she recovers. Cool. Thanks, Cleo. So weird seeing how these plants grow. Look at that. But yeah, basically I've not climbed for quite a minute now, and I miss it terribly because I do really, really love climbing. But I will probably get back into it soon, hopefully, once she figures out what's going on with her hip. But I am going climbing with one of Joe's friends and Joe on Friday, which I am really excited for, to kind of get back into it a bit. But I just really, really loved going on a weekly basis. I find that I do much better like with routine, and since I've not had that, I've just not climbed. And like, I know I could go climb alone, but I find that so much more boring. I definitely enjoy it more as a social thing for myself. Just taking off loads of like dry roots in here. I should probably separate that one out as well, but yeah, I will need to. Because like, look at all of these dry roots that we don't need. This one probably has some as well. Where did I put my scissors? Did I bury them? I know that's probably not the ideal way to do things, but alas, it's fine. Okay. So I've taken that one apart. one is my normal one. That is so strange. These roots are weirding me out. They're like very healthy roots though. I've only had like a couple of dry ones to pull out. And it's not like it's bound in like a mesh or anything, like sometimes they can be. How odd. That's good, that's good. It is not all one chunk. I mean, not that it would have been a problem if it were, but it'll help me plant it up a bit better if it's not in like a specified shape. My nail polish is like being destroyed here. It's okay, I can get rid of them today anyways. They're gonna get messed up tomorrow night climbing, so it doesn't really matter. Someone asked what my favorite Hoya is. That's a tough one. I feel like it changes fairly regularly, but right now my favorite Hoya, my first thought was my Crasio Petiolata Splash, which I do really like, but I also am really loving my Retusa at the minute, because it's fun and different, and I really like that about it. So yeah, maybe my Retusa, but yeah, like it does change fairly regularly, so don't hold me to that. I suppose I could pot a bunch of Hoyas up together as well, but for some reason, that is still a no-go in my mind. I wonder if it's because I'm really enjoying Hoyas at the minute, and so I'm liking having a lot of them. And it's not to say I don't enjoy having lots of Syndaps. Okay, this is actually one piece. That's one piece. This is a different piece. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy Syndapsis, but I feel like I've got a bunch of different types that are all growing very, very slowly, and that I don't necessarily need to have separately. So yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's because they flower Hoyas that I don't want to mix them up as much, because then, like, would they still bloom? I'm sure they would still bloom, but there we go. All divided up. To the best of my abilities, at least. So I definitely think I'll need a big pot for these. Bigger than the ones it has been in. Oh, there's my scissors. They're here. This one is my newest one, the Milky Way. And I've literally just pulled that straight out of the soil. That's really easy then. It's not nearly as rooted as the other ones, but it's just a baby, so that's okay. Okie doke. I think I'm definitely going to need the big boy pot for this one. I might get rid of some of this soil though, just to get it out my way. I do feel bad for potentially getting rid of all of this soil though, because this is a lot the soil. Okay, cool. That's fine for now. And we can use this pot to pot up. It's huge. This is massive. Okay. I might have to stand up for this. I'm gonna stand up. Give me 1 sec to shift the angle. That will do. And again, I'm using Monstera and Philodendron soil, which should be absolutely fine in here. I'm pretty sure that's what I had them in before anyways. I could also not pot super deep into this. I could not pot all the way down to the bottom. If I'm worried about them having too much space. I think it'd be easier to go one by one with them. I feel like they don't dislike a crowded pot. This is so bushy. But I love it. I much prefer a bushy plant to a non-bushy plant. Cool. Now to get soil around all of these roots. And have it stand up as straight as possible. Sorry, I've completely stopped answering questions. That's my bad. I'm just in full-on concentration mode, trying to make sure that I do not screw this up. I do think I'm gonna have to water this one quite thoroughly in order to like see where the soil runs down, because I'm sure, like I'm positive there's gaps in between the roots in here that will kind of fill in once water goes through it, and I can add more soil in accordingly. But for now, I really like that. Like, so it doesn't hurt that the variegated one, not the Milky Way, but the variegated one of this is barely variegated at all. So you can't really, like, it doesn't really look out of place. And I've like fully mixed it up together. So yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Cleo, may I help you? What are you doing? She's just down there. Get down. Get down. Thank you. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. So I think this is where I'm going to end this video now. I've gotten all the plants that I wanted to repot potted up and together. I am really pleased with this one actually. I'll insert a clip or a picture or something pointing out what all the different types are so y'all can see if I can get them all in one picture. That's gonna be the hard part because there are some really beautiful Scindapsus in this one. And this is such a chill plant on its own. Absolutely fine. And where did it go? Oh, it's over there. The alocasia went, that one's gonna be at. Like, it's two of the same plant. It's not even joining different ones together like these two have been. But thank you all so much for joining me on my journey with these, trying this out. Is this something that anybody else does? Do you do this? I feel like this is the extreme version here to declutter, but I feel like I got rid of like 7 plants and now I have 1, which I feel like is primo. And same with this one. I had 3 and now I have 1. It's one big one, but I can handle that. It's not going to take up that much more space than it was before. It'll be fine. Before I go put these away though, I would like to say a huge thank you to the newest member of my Good Growing fam over on Patreon, Claudio. Thank you so much for joining in. I really hope you enjoyed over there. I hope to meet you in one of our future live chats. If anyone else is interested in joining the Patreon, it's £3 or $4.50 or about €4 a month, and you get everything for that low price. Bonus content, live chats, polls, Discord server where we all help each other with plant stuff and show off our cool plants. And yeah, it's a really— oh, Cleo, no. Cleo, down. Cleo, no. That little rascal. She was like about to knock over the plant. I literally just potted up my alocasia. Don't want that. But yeah, my Patreon's there if y'all want it. Obviously no pressure. It's just something fun for us to do together. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching again. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!